Hey, what's going down, everybody? It's your boy, Mr. Soderbergh, shining for the R&B Talk Show. Y'all know me as the podcast host, the DJ, the commentator, a little bit of everything and stuff. This is the R&B Talk Show, and man, just want to say thank you all for riding this wave. I've been doing interviews over the last 7 years. Tonight we'll make 497 total. Three more to go, it'll be 500 stuff. So I can't wait, go from there. Hey, what's going on, V? V in the house. Yeah, right now, tonight's guest, I got actor and former dancer Vincent M. Ward will be on the RB Talk Show. He will be late, but he will be, on his way. Right now, he's filming a movie. So, so he's on his way here in a minute. Hey, what's going on? Big shouts to, V's Vintage and also the PR Pam Broussard. Thank you both for, thank you. Big shouts to V, big shouts to Pam for always bringing a lot of great guests, on the RB Talk Show, even when it used to be called RB Soulfake TV, and I appreciate you all for take the time believing in me, giving, fans something to look forward to in interviews, the details and everything and stuff, that's pretty much what it's all about, and just basically highlighting, celebrating everybody's careers, definitely important, what I'm saying? And I want to say thank you and stuff. But I also want to talk about this too. I'm in talks of having RB Talk Show on Roku. So be on look for that real soon. I say by time everything is done, I say probably like late summer, early fall. So be on lookout for that and stuff. Next month I got Black Music Month coming up, what I'm saying. Looking forward to interviewing some legendary artists and I got some great content posts. I got them ahead I'm gonna do, so be on lookout for that, what I'm saying? Definitely, and stuff. But I'm gonna tell you, straight up, have interviewed over 497 people, well, artists and stuff. Here it is, like you got recording artists, you got songwriters, producers, Hollywood actors, you name it, And one thing about being a host is that I learned, is that you definitely gotta be, universal in the mind, what I'm saying? Especially, when you interview with different genres of entertainment, what I'm saying? And that's what makes a person so unique and stuff, And I done seen some podcasters, I see some interviews and it be up and down, but you gotta know what you're doing, you gotta know what you're talking about. So that's the key and stuff, But like I said, I definitely want to give V and Pam both of y'all flowers. I want to thank you so much for, bringing, a lot of man, some amazing guests on here. I definitely appreciate you all, because y'all could have brought guests on any other platform. I really appreciate that. I definitely do, But I can't believe it. I be, get close to 500, man. It's crazy, man. I can't believe it, man. It's funny too, though, because when I started doing podcasts in 2019, you didn't really see a whole lot of people doing that. Then when the pandemic came in, everybody started doing podcasts, and I was already a year ahead and stuff. And here I am, 7 years later, still going, what I'm saying? So I'm blessed and stuff, But I want to say this too. Hey, what's up, cousin Tasha? And I want to say this too, we definitely got to start, staying prayed up because, man, it's a scary world out here, man. The way, things are happening now, it's scary, what I'm saying? There was a guy that's in my hotel, he got caught, decent exposure in a park. The guy was like half naked. And then well, it was a picture of it. So he went deep in the park and he was showing his private parts and stuff like that, to underage kids as well as adults that was in the park. And the park over there, people go fishing, people, doing different activities and stuff like that. And so, for what I was told, the guy that used to be I think it was a gym coach or something like that, And this happened in Chickasaw Park, where I was born and raised at, over there, And when I saw that, I was like, wow, that's ate up. Then I had to think to myself, like, Bill to, and well, must be, I don't know, he had to be bipolar or something that triggered his head to do that. You know what I'm saying? Something had to led his brain going that direction. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I say that, it's good to check up on our peoples, you know what I'm saying? Because you never know what's going on inside their head. A person could sit here and tell you, oh, I'm fine, I'm doing good, but you just never know what's behind there. You know what I'm saying? Mental health is definitely real, straight up, and things. But hey, what's up? What's up? Oh, okay, I know what that is. But man, just want to say, like I said, thank you all again, man. Saying be part of RB Talk Show. We almost at 11,000 subscribers on YouTube. And man, I'm gonna tell you something, it's one thing, when you start out, you have 1,000 subscribers, like, oh my God, I can't believe I got 1,000. But man, listen, once it go from 1,000 to 5K to 10K, that's a whole different level of stuff, and hoping to get this YouTube page monetized, you know what I'm saying? But, with YouTube, I love YouTube, but when you're not in the algorithm, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's a done deal and everything. Yeah. So yeah, I just got a word that he is on his way. So he's coming in second. But yeah, man, but like I said, thank you all for, doing that. And I want to say this too, what was it? I'm gonna address it later. I'm not gonna say it in this video and stuff. It was on my mind. I'll talk about it some other time. But yeah, I just want to say thank you all for, man, rocking with your boy. You know what I'm saying? I really appreciate that. It's definitely been a interesting ride, man. You know what I'm saying? To where I was then to where I am now. So, you know what I'm saying? And September 3rd will be 10 years since I created this platform. And looking forward to, I can't believe I said, man, 10 years has went by so fast the way it did, man. You know what I'm saying? Because I thought to myself, like, if I was not doing R&B, if it was strictly hip hop, I don't think I would be getting notoriety as I am today. You know what I'm saying? And one thing about genre music is that people look forward to something that they grew up, back in the day is good music. You know what I'm saying? Anything that's like something, entertainment relatable and everything. So, just that's always been one of the keys to that. But yeah, so that's what all about is. But I will give big shouts to my cousin Tasha Britton, you know what I'm saying? Real down to earth, all the way from Columbus, Ohio. Big shouts to cousin. You know what I'm saying? Always, man, promoted R&B talk show, what used to be called R&B Soul Fake TV back then and stuff, So man, just it's been an amazing ride. I cannot complain, you know what I'm saying? You know, because for me it was just I was by myself, Then when my cousin got on board, like around where it was at 2018, and man, the rest was history. So for me, I'm definitely blessed, and everything. Because it's kind of hard, I'm gonna be honest with you, to have family members, say to support, what you do and stuff, you know what I'm saying? It really is, as far as they have the same mind frame of vision, say straight up and stuff. But I wanna also talk about this too. What was that? The Michael Jackson biopic is almost at 500 billion, man, worldwide, man. That's crazy. And it's still number one in the box office. You got celebrities, you got, of course, fans going back and forth to watch it again and stuff. And I could just imagine how many numbers it's going to do by the time this movie run in the theaters is up and stuff. And part two is almost part two is going to be out sometime next year. And from what I was told, they got enough footage for part two. And I can just imagine they're gonna do some reshoots probably in between and stuff like that. Now, part two did get the Dangerous tour, and you get all the allegations of MJ's career and everything. So that's gonna be very interesting to see and stuff. Yeah, so I'm excited to see that, you know. But I will say this though, part one was more focused on how he became the king of pop, you know, what led him to want to do his own thing, you know, how he became creative. And, you know, I'm glad they touch on his skin condition as well as the Pepsi, you know, said commercial. The only thing about, you know, difference between the Jackson American Dream and the movie was Michael Jackson real life never rolled down the steps, you know. ABC Network had it made too, they made it too dramatic where he fell down the steps, you know, that was crazy, you know what I'm saying? You know, and then what else? You know, Jafar, he did exactly everything that, you know, his uncle did, you know, saying in real life and everything. And I'm gonna tell you something, man, you know, Jafar is going places, man. He definitely is, you know. So I mean that brother's definitely blessed. I mean, to be a Jackson alone, you know what I'm saying? You know, I mean, just to sit here and say, you know, I mean, I don't see people, you know, portray MJ in the movie and everything. And Wally Draper, you know, I mean, he did a hell of a job. I mean, he make you thought he was Michael, but we talk about somebody that's a Jackson, and Jafar did a hell of a job. So I could definitely see awards, you know, coming towards his way and everything. So yeah, man, it's gonna be very interesting to see and stuff, you know. Yeah. So, but I will say this though, the makeup on on the cast, especially coming to Bigo, you know, so I mean, this guy looked like Joe Jackson. I know a lot of people was like, well, how come, you know, so didn't have that? Because I'm gonna tell you something, you know, with difference between TV and movies, and sometimes with TV, you know, they get away with whatever, like they'll throw a wig on somebody, and then you have you know, to make it seem like it's real. Now I will say this though, you know, Lawrence Hill Jacobs, he did an amazing job playing Joe Jackson, you know, and brought Joe to life and everything. Only difference was he didn't wear no, you know, I mean, you know, he didn't have like the makeup like Joe had on. He didn't even have the contacts in his eyes because you know Joe Jackson got hazel eyes and everything. But Kobe Domingo, you know, the makeup team, you know, they had him down pat. It's like Joe Jackson. So yeah, man, that was very interesting to see that and everything and stuff, you know. But yeah, that movie definitely going to win a lot of awards and stuff like that. So you just imagine what part two is going to be like. You know, say the whole anticipation for it and everything. Yeah, so I'm excited just to see that. You know, what I'm saying coming and stuff. You know, but man, but I was, but anyway, I tell you one thing though. You know, man, you know, these 5 months went by so fast as it did. I ain't gonna sit here and lie to you, you know what I'm saying? Because every time when the start of the year gets there, it just seems like, you know, once January first hits, everything goes by quick. And it's like sometimes you know we have stuff planned out, what we want to do it, how we want to do things, but you know, unfortunately, we don't get enough time, man. You know, say to stick around and you know, figure out, okay, what's my next move, my best move, you know what I'm saying? And true enough, you know, a lot of stuff happens, you know, that, you know, drags us or gets our attention, you know, and it's sometimes it's out of our control, unfortunately, you know what I'm saying? And everything. But yeah, you know, that's the sucky part about that. But yeah, I wanna say this too. I've been noticing on YouTube that the interview I did a year ago with Glenn Jones is almost at 1,000 organic views, and the interview I did with Michael Cooper is almost at 1,000 views. It's skyrocketing high, and I want to say big shout out to the Day One fans as well as the new fans. You know, watching it. You know, interviews I did. Those are one of my most favorite interviews. You know, when it comes to interviewing an R&B legend like Glenn Jones and Michael Cooper. You know, I'm glad people got a chance to learn the details of their lives and stuff like that. You know, it's like we know all about Michael Cooper when he was with Confunk, you know, say you know, I mean, of his group Confunction that he's currently with. But people never talk about the highlights of his solo career, you know. So, so for me, coming in the interview, I want to make sure that everybody knew about his life, you know, as a solo artist and everything, and the ups and downs of it and stuff. And he had a great album too, you know, by one of his last album he did, and I forgot what it was called, but you know what I'm saying? Like they could have promoted that better, man. You know what I'm saying? But Yeah, it was crazy. And then what else? Glenn Jones, one of my most interesting interviews I ever did, just learning by a guy that, he was in the 80s and 90s. I mean, he's out there with Luther, Alexander O'Neal, Freddie Jackson when it comes to like having great songs and stuff, And he should be big or bigger than them, Because I put it this way, had his manager told him not to fall back, and the song he was supposed to do with Patti LaBelle, that song on my own, oh man, that song would have got Glenn Jones out of here. He definitely would have got a Grammy. You know what I'm saying? I could just imagine what that would have done for him, so much high expectations and stuff, But yeah, sometimes management, man, they make big mistakes, Even though that song ended up being bad for Michael McDonald, but man, I just wish management would be like, hey, let's go ahead, let's go, sit down there. Even Glenn Jones said, man, I should have called a flight and got that out the way and everything, because one thing about artists is, in those days, anytime a black artist with a Grammy, I mean, that's a whole different level. That takes their careers even further. So, and I know Glenn Jones in his prime back then, oh man, he definitely would have burned that. He definitely would have burned that song. You know what I'm saying? He definitely would have killed that record. Don't lie on that one. Yeah, this is on his way. I just got a notification, so he's on his way. Okay, here he is. I just said him his name.
What up, though?
Hey, what's going on, brother?
Oh man, just leaving the set, man. I apologize, bro.
It's all good, man. Yeah, it's all good, brother.
When they moved the call time back, I was like, oh no.
Oh man, I can imagine, man. I mean, I like for me, like I've never been an actor, but I can imagine you had to do like a reshoot or to add an extra scene in and stuff.
Bro, it's a lot. It's called POV, so you got to the location and where they're looking at and all that other stuff.
Yeah, man, most definitely, man. Shoot, man. Just want to say welcome to the RB Talk Show, my brother. And man, dude, you definitely got an amazing career, man. When I was reading, your history, I was like, man, this brother, man, has been around, man, for years, man. I was like, I don't think anybody gave him his flowers, but I want to give you your flowers, to go from a basketball star in school to become a dancer, to then later on become an actor. I was like, man, this brother lived 3 different lives, man.
Yeah, man. My first love and my passion was dancing and playing ball. Sometimes playing ball and busting out on a dance move after I dunked on somebody.
Oh man,
So yeah, bro.
yeah. If you had the opportunity to play in the NBA, what team you could have saw yourself back then playing for, and who was you or was a fan of?
Let me step out the car. I just remember I got the microphone on.
Are you good? I can't hear you though. Yeah, I don't know why I can't hear you for some reason. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I don't know why for some reason I can't hear you though. I can hear you. I heard you good in your car, but for some reason I can't hear you while you're walking, man. I don't know why it's not letting me hear you. Okay, okay, I can hear you now. There we go.
Damn. I already talked to him. I gotta. Sorry about that, bro.
Are you good?
Yeah,
Are you
I
good?
was like, wait a minute, I still got the microphone on. I didn't want to leave and have it. Man, growing up, definitely the Lakers.
Oh
The
man.
Lakers with Magic Johnson and Worthy, and because it was all about Showtime. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was all about getting the crowd hyped up and all that stuff. So definitely the Showtime Lakers. I still hate Boston to this day.
Oh
I hate
man, me you
Utah.
both.
Teams like that, I can't stand, man. So it's
Yeah,
definitely the Lakers. And, I mean, even though I'm from Ohio, I wasn't a big Cavaliers fan back then.
yeah,
I was when LeBron came, because I'm
yeah.
always gonna be a LeBron lover, man. I love what he does on the court and off the court, especially.
Yeah, he brought a lot of money, to that city, and no offense to like Mark Price and Ron Harper and all those guys, he brought a lot of swag into their city and stuff back then.
Yeah. And if you think about it, in Ohio, the only time we won anything, any championships, is with the Buckeyes, Ohio State
Yeah.
Buckeyes. So it was never with any of the professional teams. We always got close until LeBron came back to the Cavaliers.
Yeah, because I thought that was definitely important, because I was like, I can't see him, in his legacy with a championship with the Heat, anything like that. I'm glad he got one for LA because that was needed, but with the Cavaliers, that was the most needed ever. He'll be from Ohio. Yeah, like nobody could ever take that away.
Yeah, but there's some people just don't understand. They so much of a LeBron hater that they try to question the championship that he won with LA inside that bubble. Do you know
Yeah,
how hard it was for them to be sitting in there all those months trying to play ball? And that was tough.
that was tough, man. That definitely was tough, man. To go down, what was it, 3-1, to turn around, do 4-3, man, that's unheard of, man.
Yeah, that was in Cleveland. Yeah, definitely,
Yeah,
definitely one of the best comebacks of all time, because they sure ain't gonna do it against Oklahoma this year.
nah, it's over.
Oh God, this is. I just don't want them to get swept. I don't want to hear nothing
Yeah,
about no Michael Jordan never got swept and all that bull crap. I just don't want them to get swept. At least win one doggone game, two if you have
yeah,
to.
we definitely need that one game, man. And I thought to myself ever since AR-15 got injured, man, it's like his game has never been the same.
Well, but
Trying to,
that's what happened with a lot of people.
yeah,
Because they keep in their mind that that injury has messed them up.
yeah,
And that's tough. Look at Klay Thompson. Klay Thompson, I mean, yeah, he still put that thing up, but he still ain't
hmm
the Klay Thompson where he was at Golden State, which he definitely should have never left. But I think
yeah,
that's one of the things of the grass ain't always greener on the other side.
exactly. Like you don't make when your teammates try to punk you out, make you leave your team, and help to win like 4 championships. Like, come on, man.
Yeah, that's where the ego and all that stuff kick in. I don't want to be second or third in line. I want to be the man, but everybody ain't meant to be the man. I mean, I respect Kevin Durant, but I don't think he is capable of being the man or leading his team. I think
Facts.
he's good as a two or three. You know how you say Batman and Robin. He's
Mhm.
a good Robin.
Yeah, that's true though, because we don't see how he play. When it comes to the pressure,
And look
everything.
at James Harden when it comes to pressure.
hmm
Terrible.
Terrible, man. It's crazy, but this guy is still, it's like he's chasing for a ring like my brother. Dude, you can't even finish a playoff game, man.
No, he can't. And the reason why it had never happened for him is because of how the way he went about doing everything.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get fat, so I'm gonna get out of there. I'm gonna get the coach fired and get him out of there and try to bring in my guys. I mean, I don't care what nobody say. Karma is real, bro.
Yeah, it is, man. It don't matter what team you go to, like you treat people like crap, man. You're gonna get crap in return for some other team.
Yeah, you get
That's,
$100-some million. Who and you doing that stuff? After a while, who gonna respect you? I think this is his
that's
last go round, man. This is gonna be his last go round. It's gonna be his last big check with Cleveland.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. I see him get up out of here, and I think they talk about trading Donovan Mitchell, but I don't know if he had no trade clause. He probably be up out of here before you know it. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't gonna be surprised.
Right. Get rid of him and LeBron go back.
Yeah. Now, like your school though, you was the only player to start every single game of the 4 years you played for Trotwood Madison School.
No, well, what it was I was the only person who started varsity all
Wow.
4 years. So back then I was kind of, unthinkable. But now, you know, these kids nowadays are crazy
Yeah.
athletes. But yeah, I was the only person who started on a varsity basketball team all 4 years, from my freshman to my senior year.
Oh man.
I was cold, big dog. I was cold, man. You know, I got letters from, you know, I got nominated to be the McDonald's All-American.
Oh man, that's huge right there, man. You know you made it,
Yeah.
man. They right there and say, hey, can you participate in a slam dunk competition or 3-point competition
Uh,
or something?
Man, that definitely wasn't happening. Not no three, because back then the big man, I was the center, and I was only
Yeah.
6'4". Back then, you dare not shoot a 3-pointer as the center back then and there. Mm-mm.
Yeah, I never seen no center hit threes. I think it was like the new bowl. That was like the only time I saw a center hit three every now
Yeah,
and then.
and then they would be like, "Why is he shooting a three? He that tall?" But now it's like everybody. I think, and going back to the Lakers, I think when they was trying to get a big man, I kept on saying, get a big man who ain't trying to shoot no 3-pointers. Get a
Yeah,
big man that's gonna be down there getting some rebounds, getting some block shots and stuff like that. Because once they get a taste of that three-point line, that's what they want to do. It's like, no, I
yeah,
need you down there getting some rebounds and boxing some people out.
yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, you don't see that no more now, man. You got like cats like 7'2", knocking threes. Like, come on, man. You know, dude, like get
Yeah,
down on the post, man. Like you got more threes, you got rebounds and
yeah.
blocks.
I mean, like the Joker. The Joker be putting that thing up though, man.
He does, man. He does. I
Yeah.
never see a cat that run like a turtle, but at the same time they get triple doubles like it ain't nothing.
Like it ain't nothing, man. That's one guy I would love to play with, because if you open, he gonna pass you the ball.
Oh yeah, yeah, man. Shoot, you know, like his passing skills like through the roof and
Mhm.
stuff like that. Yeah, that's a real truth on that. After school and everything, how did you become a professional dancer for Public Enemy, MC Hammer, and Heavy D?
Well, I was in a rap group, so we was always the opening act. You know, you always got an opening act before the big stars come on.
Yeah.
And so back in the day, back when I was living in Dayton, me and my dance partner, we were called Night and Day. I'm 6'4" and he was 6'5", and we would win every dance contest in the Midwest. We
Wow.
felt like nobody could go against us. Nobody can beat us. You know, from Scoop and Scrap Lover to Heavy D and the Boys to MC Hammer to, you know, whoever had dancers in they groups. We felt like we were different because we were so tall and because we could move. And so we were in two different groups. We started off in a group called the East Town Posse that was signed to Ichiban Records with Vanilla Ice. And then we
Okay.
moved from there to Slam Syndicate, and that which was still on Ichiban Records, because it was pretty much the same people, but you know, ended up changing the rappers or whatnot. And both groups was out of Dayton, Ohio. So I mean, growing up, I didn't know how to dance, man, until one day I went to my 7th grade dance. And Tisha Adams, if you watching this is because of you. She pulled me out on that dance floor, man. And I told her, I was like, it was a slow song too. I was like, I don't know how to dance. And she said, boy, come on, just come on out here with me. And I went out there trying to slow dance, man. I'm all on her feet and all types of stuff. And before I knew it, she was like, you right, you can't dance. And left me out there, man. I felt like, you remember the old school movie Carrie, when she was at
Yeah,
the prom and the blood fell on her? I felt
I
like
see
that.
that.
And then when I got home, I remember asking my mom to teach me how to, you know, do a couple of steps. And I used to always joke around and do like the robot, and my family used to call me the mechanical man, but they was really trying to clown me, calling me that. And yeah, and then I remember I just started practicing. Then I ended up hooking up with Knight, and we practiced in my family's driveway and in the garage, and we took it serious. And after that, nobody could touch us.
Wow, man. What's it like being on the road, you know, especially at that time, you know, touring with Public Enemy, you know, yeah, and MC Hammer and Heavy D, especially like during the height of when hip hop was hip hop in those days.
Yeah, but you know, we didn't really hunt, we didn't really hang with them like that. You know, they got the tour buses or whatnot. We in the van or in a car going to the next place. And it wasn't like it was like a full tour where we was
Yeah,
with them the whole time. It was like, okay, we did a show with them. Okay, now they got to find another show. You know, we might go to Florida, and I remember going to Florida A&M, opening up for Special Ed and his group, and I think it was X Clan or somebody. So it was just like, it wasn't like going on tour with
Kind of like
them.
selective dates and stuff like that.
Yeah, selective dates. I wish it was like, we had a bus that we were on and got to go to the next city, the
Yeah.
next city, the next city. But we had fun. Like I said, we was the opening act, so we was in stadiums or arenas where there wasn't hardly nobody in there, but we put on a hell of a show. Matter of fact, if you go on a Vincent M in concert with this rap group on YouTube,
Mhm.
you see us get down.
Oh man, yeah, I gotta check it out.
Yeah.
After that situation, when did the acting bug start kicking in for you?
Well, what happened was after the dancing, I ended up going back to schools in Chicago and played ball. And one day a basketball coach hit my mom up. I've been out of high school for 2.5 years, and I got letters from every college that you can think of, but I didn't want to go straight to college. I wanted to tour. And so after a couple of years of not making no real money, that's when that coach called, and he's like, I want to offer him a scholarship. And my mom was like, you haven't even seen him play in a couple of years. He said, "Ma'am, if your son played," he said, "if he got it, he got it." And I ended up leaving the rap group, and I went to school. I went to school for a couple of years, and then if you know anything about the Midwest, General Motors was the job to have. So
Yeah,
that
oh yeah,
summer, yeah, that summer I started working at GM, and I didn't go back to school, man. And after working at GM for like a year and a half, I got hurt on the job, and they told me I couldn't come back.
wow,
So I had to do something. So I started working at Champ Sports in Dayton, Ohio, became the #1 salesman in the district. They said, we want to train you as assistant manager, but you have to go to Columbus. Went to Columbus, became the #1 salesman in the district there. One day the general manager came and said, "You're doing such a great job in the company. How far you want to take it?" I hadn't even been an assistant manager yet. I'm still training. I was like, "Man, I'd like to have a position like yours one day."
wow,
Man, that dude fired me 2 weeks later. And my manager said, "Whatever you said to the general manager, that's why I have to let you go."
wow,
3 weeks after that, I went and saw my very first play. At this time, I'm like 28, 29 years old, and I had never even seen a play. I watched that play, and I fell in love with acting that day. And it was like a 25-seat theater. And it's like, "You should come audition." Because, after the play, I went and spoke to all the actors. And it's like, "You should come audition." I was like, "Really?" I said, "What's an audition?" And it's like, I didn't even know what an audition was. He said, "It's like an
yeah,
interview." I auditioned. I got a part. Champs tried to give me my job back. I told him no. I started doing more stuff, and then more independent films and more plays, and then I ended up doing the movie Traffic with Michael Douglas.
wow,
And after that, I told my parents I'm moving to LA, and they was like, "You don't even know anybody." I said, "It don't matter." I ended up moving back to Dayton, got a job, saved my money, and when it was time for me to move to California, GM cut me a check for $10,000 telling me not to come back.
wow.
3 years after that, everybody lost their job at GM. And I like telling this story because what we might think is a negative might be a positive to push you into what you really and truly should be doing in life. Because if
Yeah,
I would have been still at GM, if I would have still been at Champs, then I would have never been here in LA. Leaving the set, having you on hold this long, which I
yeah.
appreciate, man. Thank
No
you.
problem, brother. Oh man,
And
that's fair enough.
thank you for understanding. And thank you, Pam, for Broussard, publicist, for connecting us. But yeah, man, that's how I end up becoming an actor.
Oh man, that's amazing, man. I thought to myself, I don't think too many, people will write a check saying, "Hey, you know what? I believe that your goal is somewhere else. It's definitely not here." To write a check, that's saying something.
Yeah. Wrote a check for me not to come back. I wasn't coming back anyways.
But thank you for the money, brother. That's why I
You
came back
heard
to the
me?
first place.
Yeah, because that money helped me with moving out here.
Wow,
Hmm.
man. Yeah, so during the early beginnings, you did what we call Stepdaddy, Ocean's 11, one of the classic films. I'm gonna start with Was it Traffic 2000? How did you get that role?
I just auditioned. That's when I was still that's when I was still in Ohio. I auditioned. I got a part, and that's when I came out here. And then the crazy thing about it, it took about a year and something for them to release the film. Me and my parents had told everybody that I'm in Traffic with Michael Douglas. My scene was with Michael Douglas. My scene, my character was called The Face.
Wow.
Finally, I'm out here to premiere, and the scene takes place where Michael Douglas is riding through the neighborhood looking for his daughter. He stops at the light. I get in his face. He's driving. I'm in his face through the window, asking him what he doing in my hood type thing. I'm sitting at the premiere, and I'm like, here we go. Finally, after all this time. Bruh, he drove right past me, man.
Wow.
Right past me. I was devastated. But for some strange reason, they kept me in the script. I mean, kept me in the credits as guy on the street, which they, they shouldn't have even did that. But, I still get residuals for the rest of my life for that. After the premiere, I went to Steven Soderbergh, the director, and I was heated because I just felt like everybody thought I was a liar or thought my parents was a liar. And I said, hey, man, I said, why you cut my part out? Just like that at the premiere, dog. He looking around like, oh, hell, this big dude is tripping. But I was hurt. I didn't know any better. You know what I mean? And then finally he could tell that, I was devastated. And he was like, man, we had to pay Michael up front. We went over budget. He said, I'm sorry. That's just how this works. And I was like, all right. So I started to walk away. He said, but hey, I'm working on a new movie. And this is when people used to write numbers down. He said, give my secretary a call. I have a part for you in my new movie called Ocean's 11. And that's how I got in Ocean's 11. And then he did it to me again at the premiere. This time I'm talking and music is playing over my lines. But I didn't front on him this time, though. I just told myself this would never happen to me again. And the movie with Queen Latifah and Steve Martin came called Bringing Down the House. I had 3 words in that thing. Before I was done, I had added 33 words on there. And everything I added, they kept. Now, I'm not suggesting people do that, but it worked for me that time.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Wow, man. Ocean's 11, man. I remember not watching it right then and there, but I remember they was showing like Brady Mac and everybody. I watched it because of him.
Right.
I said, man, I'm gonna check it out. And I said, that movie's good, man, because it kind of gave me like that, man. It was like a mix of Godfather, kind of like the Mafia, and everything you could think of and everything and stuff. I said, man, I doubted this film, man. I said, it turned out to be a classic for it and everything. And stuff. The Stepdaddy. If I ain't mistaken, I think it's the one with Eddie Griffin in it. If I ain't mistaken.
What's that?
The Stepdaddy, the movie.
No, the Stepdaddy is what I made. It just came out a couple weeks ago. No. It's a horror film based off of the old school movie, The Stepfather.
Yeah.
Written by me and a young lady by Drika Armstrong. I created it because I got tired of getting killed off on everything.
Yeah.
So right now, it's playing on video on demand. Wherever you buy or rent movies, that's what video on demand is. Because a lot of people don't know what video on demand means. Yeah. That's like Fandango's, like Prime Video. But it's a horror movie where I'm just trying to find love. But I want to find love with a woman who has kids already. But when it doesn't go my way, I flip the hell out in a very bad way. Yeah. And then this movie I had shot a couple months ago, they just actually sent me the trailer for it today. It's called the Grim Rapper. And the trailer looks awesome, man. It looks awesome. I was very surprised to see how good this looked.
Oh man, yeah, I gotta check it out, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah, and what I was filming today is something called Get Back Up with Chris Stokes and Marcus Houston as the producers.
Yeah,
Some independent film. So
yeah,
I'm trying to stay busy, man. I got a few things coming out, and I got a few projects that I'm trying to get out. So
yeah.
yeah.
Man, I love the movie. I mean, I love the program you was in called was it Beyond the Walking Dead?
No, man, it's called The Walking
The
Dead.
Walking Dead, yeah, because somebody, nah, because my bad, nah, it was sent to me like that, you know what I'm saying? Not to pay up, but not
You
to
didn't
pay up
love it
like
too much if
that.
you didn't know the name.
No, but like not to pay up though like that though, but yeah, but The Walking Dead, man, like one of the classic shows, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
Yeah.
I remember watching it. I was hooked on to it. I couldn't stand the guy, man, that he had everybody lined up. He was knocking everybody's
Negan.
heads off. I said, man, I
Negan.
want to put a hit on that brother.
Yeah, Negan. Negan was a bad boy, man.
Yeah.
Bad boy.
Oh man. Yeah, he was and stuff. Like the way this era now, man, from what I'm seeing now, man, everybody's doing a lot of film production and stuff. You see stuff on Tubi, and I forgot this other company. I think it's called True Something. And big shouts to Chris Stokes and Marcus Houston, man. I mean, them brothers, man, they be on it back to back,
Yeah,
man.
they right over there.
Yeah, man. And big shouts to Marcus Houston. He follows me on Instagram. I'm like, bro, like, I ain't no actor, but I love to be an extra. I ain't gotta say nothing.
Yeah, we had some extras there today. It was a boxing scene. So it's pretty much the scenes. What I'm doing is I play a father in this to the lead young lady. And yeah, she's a boxer and I'm her dad and her trainer.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Man, oh, man, that's gonna be good right there, man.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, because I've been noticing, man, they be doing a lot of kind of like horror films, drama films in between and stuff
Mm-hmm.
like that,
Yeah.
And I think it's so
I
dope.
can tell they definitely know what they're doing.
Yeah,
They
I tell you, you ain't lying, man. Because I mean, to have an all-black supporting cast like that, it's very rare. You don't see that a lot of films. You usually see maybe like it was like 20% black, rest is all white. You might see maybe a Mexican, and that's about it, And I think it's awesome to see that. To let people know, say, hey, we could do it too. Say we don't need other races unless we do need it, but we don't see
and,
no we
and,
can
and
hang
not,
our own.
it, honestly, not even that. It's having having a black production company that's professional that has this stuff together. I hate that whole term CPT time, colored people time. I
Yeah,
hate that. That's the excuse to be late. And if
yeah,
anybody know me, I hate being late. It drives me crazy, man.
yeah.
I can't even focus on my scenes because I see there's Marcus right there. You see him?
Oh wow. Okay, I see it right there. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh man.
I hate being late, bro.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I've been trust me. I know what it's like to be late, man. It's no fun. I tell you, man. It
Yeah,
really
and
ain't.
and shout out to another production company, man, Tridesta. When I tell you they own their stuff, Andy and Trey, and that's the people who does the Black Hamptons and the family business, and they
Okay.
show so much love and they're so professional at what they do, and they just show appreciation for what you do, and how you come and do your thing and just be there and do what you was hired to do.
Yeah. I think about it, it's probably glad you said that because that company I just saw on Instagram maybe like 2 months ago. And they just
Tridesta.
now created a page and stuff. And I was looking at it, I said, wow, that's like a whole different wave of that, man. And I think it's dope because it don't have to be no Paramount, don't have to be no Warner Brothers. And I'm glad it's more
Mm-mm.
companies that's providing, actors a lot of work, what I'm saying, whatever
Mm-hmm.
roles you want to pick and stuff. I think it's so dope, you see that. I can only imagine to where, you was getting gigs, you started out and to where you are
Mm-hmm.
now, so I know it's like a whole difference in that.
sometimes, man, honestly, it's not even what you know, it's who you know.
Mhm.
Today, I mean, this thing I've been working on, a friend called me up, casting, a young lady that I work with named Carnetta that I had worked on on Snoop's play called Redemption of a Dog. It was me, Snoop, Tamar Braxton, Omar Gooding, Eric Benet, Dimitri McKinney, Lil JJ. And when this came about, I hadn't worked with her in 3 or 4 years, man. And she hit me
Wow.
up about this part. I'm about to do something else with Bentley Evans. You know, he's one of the guys who created Martin. I'm doing something with him this week. And I didn't have to audition for that. You know, I work with a lady named Phaedra Harris. She's a casting director. And Phaedra, if she believes in you, she gonna call you. She's the
Yeah.
reason why I got the role in the show called House of Vicious. And she's the reason why I got this role coming up too. So
Wow.
thank you, Phaedra. Thank you, Carnetta. You know, it's all about, man, you know, having a good reputation. Anybody
Absolutely.
talk crazy about me on set or anything like that, something's wrong with them. Because again, I don't be late and I have my stuff together.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Amen to that, man. Good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know what? When I saw your face, I said, "Wait a minute!" I could have sworn I saw him on one of my favorite shows back in the early 2000s called Everybody Hates Chris. And I
Yeah,
was like, I said I could be wrong. But I said I'm gonna ask him out of respect.
yeah. I was on there. I just played 7 different characters, but I was on there to be Terry Cruz's personal stand-in, and they would just give me different parts, man.
Oh man,
Give me parts. So that's how I ended up being on there. That was probably the funnest time of my life being on that show with Tashina and Terry and you know the kids, and we just had a good
yeah.
time, man.
I can imagine, man, like the laughter, man. You know, to like try to keep a straight face going on set. He got to run it back. I can imagine like the
Yeah,
director, man, trying to re up more film. Be like, look, y'all, man, look, you know, like everybody got to be focused.
yeah, yeah. But we had a good time.
Yeah,
We had an awesome time, bro. And when I say it was like a family atmosphere, it was definitely like a family atmosphere.
yeah. Man, you know,
So
I could vision you playing a detective cop, you know, like of like a TV series, you know, so like a
mhm.
CSI or something that's like brand new, nobody ain't you know heard of yet, you know. And I was like, I was just picturing. I said I could see him in a situation where it's like, you know, he's a blue collar, you know, he got a husband,
Yeah,
got kids, and try to you know stop the crime in Los Angeles, you know, and stuff.
my mom said the same thing years ago.
Wow.
Years ago, she said your big break is going to be what you just said. I mean, this year I was on a show called Bosch Legacy when I played a lieutenant, and I was on NCIS where I played a detective.
Wow.
But you know, and I'm grateful for that. But my goal is being a series regular, man. I want to
Yeah.
be on somebody's show from season 1 to season 21. You know,
Absolutely.
that's my goal. I'm grateful again because I don't want nobody to feel seen like, you know, hey, he great. I'm grateful. He done done a lot of stuff. My goal and my dreams and my prayers is different than what other people might see. I just don't want to be Oscar from The Walking Dead. My goal is to be in a position to win an Oscar. You know.
Yeah,
So
man. Gotta
yeah,
get them Oscars, man. Gotta get that was it at the NAACP Image Awards, you know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Gotta get
all
them
of those
Tonys.
awards.
Gotta
Yeah,
get that, man. Yeah, cause
yeah,
yeah, cause when I was looking at you know, some of your work, man, I said, hey man, this brother here, man, definitely deserves, you know, awards, you know, under his belt, you know, and stuff. And like I hope that happens, man, you know, definitely gotta manifest that, you know, say it to
yeah.
existence
Oh,
and
most
everything.
definitely. I say it. I say it every day. You know, when I'm praying, when I'm focusing, when I'm thanking God, when I'm crying about the good, when I'm thinking about the past, the present, the future, all that stuff come up, man. When I think about the 14 grandkids, when I think about my parents, my wife, all of that plays a part. It's not anything that I pray for. It's not about me. It's about how I can help somebody else, or how I can put my parents in a position where they don't have to worry about anything, you know, or
Yeah.
and leaving a legacy for the grandkids. It's never about, oh, I want to, you know, I want this. You know, I want people to know I'm this. It's never like that. I've never have been the type of dude to be bragging and boasting, even
Yeah.
before the acting, even, you know, with the dancing and basketball. I've never been that type of guy. I've always been humble.
Yeah. You're right about that, man. You know, humble man, being a humble man, just being a seven. I mean, that goes a long way, longevity, you know, and people
Yeah.
respect, like, you know what? I like this brother, man. Let me see if I could hook him up with more gigs and see where it goes from there
Hmm.
and stuff, you know. And
Yeah.
yeah, it's
We
crazy, man, because I know you see a bunch of people, man, that try to fake it till they make it. You see where their careers don't crash and burn and went somewhere far left.
or did something strange for a little piece of change,
Oh,
or
man.
sold they soul. Nah, straddle the fence. I ain't doing none of that.
Yeah,
I'll wait my time. I'll wait my
absolutely,
turn.
man. Amen to that. Now, oh,
Because you know what, man, let me tell you this.
yeah,
Because I felt like everything that I prayed and hoped for, if I would have got it maybe 10, 15 years ago, I might would have messed it up.
right.
But now I let God know that I can handle the success. I can handle what you put in front of me. I can handle the negativity without going off and cussing somebody out or going upside somebody's head. We all can agree to disagree, but we still just got to be respectful towards each other. So
Yeah,
I tell God
amen.
all the time, hey, hey, I'm ready when you ready.
Yeah. It's crazy, you know, we see our brothers and sisters, man, you know, just spaz out, you know, out of nowhere. And I'd be like, man, you know, it's like, you know, people give you the access of liquor, people throw women at you and all kinds of
Hmm.
shenanigans. That could make a person go crazy if you subscribe into that type of lifestyle.
Yeah, yeah. And then you got to start over. Now you messed up everything. Now you got to start back over from scratch.
Yeah.
Nah, when I get the blessings that I'm prayed for, let me live and do my thing for some years. And then let me just go away happy. Let
Yeah.
me be in a position that I've taken care of the people I said I was going to take care of. And then I just open them golden gates, man, and I'll be there.
Absolutely and stuff. You
Yes,
know,
sir.
you already got, you know, saying like a couple upcoming projects in the works. Is there any
Hmm.
movie or TV show that you try to pitch, you know, that you've been dying to put it out there for so long?
Oh, man, I got a whole bunch of stuff. Whole bunch of stuff. You know, Devilreaux was one that's playing on Tubi. The Stepdaddy. I'm learning the other part of this business right now. So yeah, be on the lookout. It's
Yeah, I can't
coming.
wait. Man, with that being said, brother, you know, saying I'm gonna let you enjoy your meal, man. Thank you, man, for coming on here, man. You know, and I wasn't tripping, man. I was like, hey, brother, I know what it's like to be late. You know what I'm saying? I said,
Yeah, man.
because I told Pep,
But
I said, you know, he can
I
take his
had
time.
I had no control over it.
Yeah.
I'm at work, you know.
Yeah, man. I can imagine, you know, just to, you know, be on time and it's something that needs to be refilmed or just got to
Yeah,
run it back, add whatever and stuff. I'm looking forward, man, to this project, man. And big shouts to Chris
appreciate it,
Stokes
brother.
and Marcus Houston, yourself, man, coming together, making this movie. I already know it's going to be a hit. I already know it is.
Yeah, it's called Get Back Up. So look out for it in the future, bro.
Most definitely, man. Man, just want to give big shouts to the PR, Pam Prasad, you know what I'm saying,
Yeah,
for hooking this up, man. Big shout out to everybody viewing this interview. And with that being said, man, you have a blessed day, my brother.
you too, brother. Take care. Thank you.
You got it.
All right now. Peace.
Peace.